Hello, I'm Kimberly Henry, and this is Living the Good Life. In this series, we'll feature conversations around ways to embrace the goodness of life and take a big, juicy bite out of it. Food for the soul and the funny bone. Learn to give more time to yourself, become a better friend, lead an amazing life, and how to tell the best joke at the party. Living the good life can mean different things to different people. Whatever it is for you, I hope you'll find some inspiration here to live your most joyful, authentic life. Now, on to today's conversation. My guest today built a $3 million business from the ground up, only to realize she was living in default mode instead of on purpose. Today, she's a powerhouse real estate investor, podcaster, and the founder of the Crew Life Coaching Collective, a community designed to make expert personal growth accessible to everyone. I love that. In this episode, she's breaking down her signature permission slip framework and showing us how to stop waiting for external validation so we can build a life anchored in true freedom and fun. And, we'll just go wherever the conversation takes us. Please welcome to the show, Maddie Wuellner.
Thank you. It's so good to be here. I can't wait to just have this conversation with you.
I'm so glad that you said yes, and then we're here to chat and learn a little bit more about you and your story. I love stories, and so I know you've got some to share, and we'll dig into those here in just a moment. But Maddie, first of all, where are you right now?
Right now, I'm in San Diego.
Awesome.
I live up north of Seattle, but my husband's a pilot. And on Friday, I got a text, plane's down for maintenance in San Diego. How quick can you get to the airport? And so
Ah,
I made it to the airport to get on a plane, and I've been down here. He flew out yesterday, but my oldest son lives in San Diego. So, I had to take the opportunity to meet my husband on location, but then also to kick it with my 23-year-old as well.
oh, I love it. I love it when you can take advantage of little moments like that. And
Yes, exactly.
yeah, you've built a life where you can do that. So kudos to you.
Thank
Let,
you.
let's talk about
Yeah.
this a little bit. You built
hmm
a $3 million agency from scratch, which seems
hmm
like the ultimate success, right? But
mm
you had a default mode moment where you kind of realized
hmm
you were living at someone else's version. This seems to be a theme on this show, by the way. The last several
Oh,
guests we've talked to have had the exact same moment. So, what was that like for you?
wow. Yeah. I think as women, we are handed our blueprint early, our
Mm,
instruction manual quite early in life. And it's a pretty simple blueprint, I think, for most of us,
hmm
be successful, go to college, get a degree, get a job that pays some bills, find a perfect partner, um,
Hmm.
have some kids, get married, and do the things. And then like voila, you've came to the finish line. Happiness ensues and you're done. You followed the checklist. Oh, Kimberly, don't let me remind us all that on that checklist is to be skinny and look pretty and kind of be
Yeah.
quiet, all of the things that we're told um, to be. And so
Right.
I followed the checklist. Like I slayed it. And when things did go sideways, as they did, we can get into some of these stories. I did get pregnant my junior year of college, which it was not on that blueprint. Thank you very much, especially
Right.
going to a Jesuit college.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I pivoted and was able like to quote unquote get back on track. And so I opened my first business in 2008, and it was an insurance agency. I still own it. And back then, and probably less so now, but definitely back then, almost 18 years ago, it was a male dominated industry. And so hustle and bro culture and grind
Yeah.
was the way to build the business, was the way to be successful. Unfortunately, I also had kids at home and a husband who had an aviation career he was pursuing, which he wasn't home all the time. And so what happened was I took the bro culture business growth checklist and the women's guide to being the best wife and mother checklist and put them together and built a thriving business. But then what happened was about 8 years in, I had a anxiety attack, a full
Mm,
blown anxiety attack, sitting at my desk, so successful, surrounded by like the epitome, Kimberly, of success. Money's
right.
rolling in. I'm winning all the trips. I'm being asked to speak on stages to tell people how to do it. I have a large team, they're thriving, and I thought I was having a heart attack. And nothing like this had ever happened to me before. I had never, I mean, growing up Catholic, we talked about guilt, but we definitely talked about mental health. Give me a break right now. Like,
Right,
we didn't talk about
right.
any of that. And so I didn't know what was happening. I
So what
landed
was it
myself,
like? Was
oh,
it a physical
oh, yes.
sensation?
Oh,
What
gosh.
what was that
It
moment?
started, and it's interesting. I can almost re-trigger the physical sensations talking about it.
Oh
It's
wow.
been long enough that it's okay, but it started in my neck, like it seized up really, really quickly, and then pain penetrated down both arms and up into my head, and then my heart started racing, and then started sweating and being the bad. Oh, I don't know. Can I say a bad word?
You can say we're we're uncensored.
Being the badass that I was, I drove myself to the emergency room because I didn't need
Oh
any help,
wow.
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That sounds like something I would do. Yes.
Oh my God. So the kind doctor said, "Oh, like easy diagnosis, easy." And I was like, "Oh, thank goodness." And he said, "This is a classic case of panic attack." And I bet I had to lift my jaw off the floor.
Oh wow.
I was like, "No, no, 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 no. You don't know me. You don't know what I've built. You don't like, let me get my resume out for you. I don't have
Right.
time for this. This is not
Mm-hmm.
what I do. That feels weak."
Mm-hmm.
But you know what, Kimberly, I was so terrified that I trusted the doctor,
Sure.
and I took his prescription of rest and therapy. And that was 15 years ago, and my life has never been the same.
So
Um,
you took a break and your life didn't fall apart. Is that what I
I
hear?
took a break and my life did not fall apart. And in hindsight, my life was falling apart before then.
Okay.
The fall apart was the, and I'm putting success in air quotes.
Right.
The fall apart was success defined by others. That
Mm-hmm.
was what was ruining me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I took a break. I kept on working. I kept on leading my team, but I slowed my roll. And oh my gosh, and I went to therapy. And I don't know if you've ever had done any therapy.
Mm-hmm.
But I took my hustle vibe in there, and I brought my journal and a pen, and I was
Mm-hmm.
like, one and done. Give me the checklist, right? We're talking about that blueprint that I've been so
Uh-huh.
successful following.
Right.
I said, give it to me. And he just looked at me and he's like, "Oh, okay. That, you poor thing. That's not what we do here. That's not how it's going to work."
Oh
And
wow.
I've been in therapy over the last, 15 years, learning and growing and softening and redefining an intentional, purposeful, successful life on my own terms since then.
Wow.
But
And
that was the
how
moment.
does that feel different? How does it feel
Mm,
different?
mm. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'll tell you right now, I'm making less money.
Okay.
I'm not winning. And I have other businesses, so that might not be true. But in the agency, I'm making less money.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I am not winning the awards. I'm not being asked to speak on stages. My name is not on the top of the sales list.
Right.
And how it feels is like freedom, because I'm
Yes.
no longer striving for what? For someone else to see my name on a list and think I've made it, but then my marriage is struggling. I'm not seeing my kids. Like, at what cost? And so,
Right.
how it feels different is, I mean, from the outside looking in, probably like a lack of success, but from the inside, ultimate freedom, joy, and just like the permission slip to do life on my terms.
Right. That permission slip. And we're going to talk about that in more detail, but that is something that we all feel like I
Mm.
feel, I don't like generalizations, but I think a
Yeah,
lot
yeah,
of
yeah.
us feel like you need permission to do the thing. You need permission to not do the thing, to not
Right.
follow the expectations. It's so
Yeah.
interesting. Why do you think we get caught up in that external permission or validation
I think
cycle?
yeah. And I would love to, I love hearing other folks' answers as well, because mine, it feels very, it's just conditioned. It's just, we've been conditioned. It's
Mm-hmm.
part of the
Mm-hmm.
blueprint. Part of the blueprint is asked to speak, or asked to use the restroom, or ask for the extra side of ranch with the burger or whatever, versus saying I'd like another side of ranch, right? It's like we're constantly told we have to ask. And one of the things I invite folks to do is to think back to a time where you asked for permission, but you knew what you needed. You still asked for
Mm-hmm.
permission, but you knew the trajectory that you wanted to go. You
Mm-hmm.
knew the decision that you needed to make.
Mm-hmm.
And, mine, as I've been coaching women and talking about these stories, the first example that came up for me is in seventh grade, like way back when, and remembering I went to the Catholic school,
Uh-huh.
and it was the cutest little Catholic school. It was a K through 8. So we still had recess even in seventh grade. And we would play, oh my God, the joy. We would literally play at recess. And thank God there was no phones. So we were
Yeah,
so busy
right.
playing at recess. I, as an irresponsible seventh grader, did not utilize that time to use the restroom. And it was a big deal. You were kind of shamed and made to be an example of if you asked to use the restroom outside of those recess
Right.
times. Well, after recess, I went inside and sat down on my desk and promptly realized I had started my period.
Oh,
Yes.
oh, you
And
poor
a
thing.
ton, yes, and we have
We've
these
all been there
stories.
though,
Yes,
right?
yes, we've all been there, and we have these stories. And it's this fear of, instead of just telling my teacher, I'm going to go use the restroom, I know what I
Right.
need. I know
Right.
exactly what I need in this moment. It
Right.
was it was this mental gymnastics, right? Of
Right.
what am I going to do? How am I going to ask for this? And it all worked out. That story worked out fine. However,
Right.
it was like my origin story of, I was looking for outside permission, and then it just continues. And then we just constantly, should I wear this? Should I marry him? Should I divorce? Should I
Right.
invest? And then we outsource all of the big questions. And the more we outsource, the less we can go inside. And
Do
so the
you,
invitation is, yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, do you feel like that's actually gotten worse in today's culture with
Mm,
social media?
yes. And with AI, holy
Mm-hmm.
smokes. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I joke with my husband that, he's having a affair with Gemini. he's he's like talking to her all the time, and I'm not worried about him because he's a guy and he hasn't been conditioned to ask for permission for every darn thing.
Right.
um but absolutely, instead of spending some time in a journal or on a walk or in nature, or even with just a girlfriend bouncing, right, just bouncing ideas, we
Mm-hmm.
outsource. Oh my, like,
Mm-hmm.
during COVID when everybody was at home, I had the because everybody was making sourdough bread, I thought, oh my God, I need a starter. I need to start
Right.
making I, Kimberly, I can't even follow a HelloFresh recipe, okay? It is that outsourcing of who we are, of our
Yes.
knowing, as Glennon Doyle says. And so, absolutely, to go back and answer your question, I think it is just so ingrained, and it's our instinct, gut reaction to outsource and ask for permission and get outside approval. And so
Mm-hmm.
this conversation is all about, like, how can we go back? How can we learn to trust ourselves again?
Right. Oh, I love that. And I think you're right. It's culture. It's you have to raise
Mm,
your hand in the classroom for starters. That is where it starts. That's where it starts.
yes, yes.
Okay. I wanted to ask you about this trip. So I
Oh,
understand that you booked a solo trip to Florence on
yeah.
Thanksgiving. How dare you, a mom with a family?
Girl.
You went, you ran away to Italy.
Uh-huh.
What
Uh-huh.
was that? Tell us
Yeah.
about that moment, how it happened, and how
Okay.
you managed that mom guilt.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so let me back all the way up. My junior year at Gonzaga, I was studying in Florence, Italy, and I got pregnant. We had enough money to get me to Italy, but not enough money to get me home early.
Oh,
So I know. So my second semester, I was studying abroad in Florence, pregnant the
mm,
whole time. It was,
mm,
by myself, miserable,
mm.
horrible, the worst time of my life.
Oh
So when I
my
finally was
goodness.
able to come home, I got back to the blueprint, I got back to the checklist, got the job, all the things, had the baby,
Hmm.
got found the man, bought the house. Okay. So fast forward to 2023, 3 years ago, three
Mm,
kids, married for 20 years. And, and as women do, we go through phases of sadness,
mm-hmm.
of burnout, of I don't want to minimize depression, but we do have episodes. And I think we're taught that it's smile through it, grin and bear it, don't lean into the hard feelings. But I was just at my wits' end, Kimberly, and I was on a call with my coach, and I said, I feel like I just need to run away. I need a timeout from my life. I need a break. I
Mm-hmm.
was just completely overwhelmed with all the things. And she said, okay, well, let's play with this. Because you can, right? We can do whatever we want.
Mm-hmm.
We can. And there's consequences to everything we do. Um, she said, let's have this conversation. Where would you want to go? And I said, um, I want to go to the saddest place I can imagine.
Oh,
I I
oh,
said, yes, I don't want to go somewhere happy. I don't
oh,
want to see
wow.
couples frolicking in the water. I don't want to see um, tiki torches and cute drinks with umbrellas and sunshine.
Right,
I didn't want to go in and like cosplay um, a life that wasn't true. Right? I
right.
was so sad. I didn't want to go find happiness. I wanted to go heal. And so
Sure.
I thought, what's the saddest place I can think of? And Florence, Italy just came right to my mind. And Florence is a
Sure.
beautiful town and it's full of happy memories, but for me, it was my sad place.
Sure.
And
Oh,
so
wow.
I booked my trip, and 3 days later, I was on a plane for a 10-day trip by myself to Italy over Thanksgiving. Left the three kids, left the husband, and they weren't happy, and they understood. So there's a both, right?
Right,
They were
right.
not happy, and they understood. So it was, they had this will go down as the worst Thanksgiving in their history of living, which I'm
Oh,
like, you know what? Good. I'm so glad because now you'll appreciate me next time.
now you have a contrast. That's right.
Yes. Yeah. So I took myself to Italy, and here's what I did. So, I kept a journal. I'm a big journaler. I kept a journal back 23 years ago when I was living
Uh-huh.
there, and I was
Uh-huh.
pregnant, and I still have it. I haven't touched it because it just feels like, ugh, too heavy. But I thought,
Right.
I'm going to bring it. I'm just going to bring it with me, and I'm going to bring another journal. And maybe, what if I could read my past entries and write back to her? Like, what if my 43-year-old self could heal my 20-year-old self? And maybe this is the path through the sadness. And I am a self-proclaimed curious student of life. So this was just an experiment. Let's just see.
Right.
Let's just see what happens. And I held that journal around Florence for a while before I cracked it open. And once I did, it just was the most beautiful experience. I would take myself out to a glass of wine at 11 in the morning, with a big bowl of pesto or something, and read an entry and laugh. Oh my gosh, I would laugh because I had entries from before I got pregnant too, which I hadn't even considered. And then I would write back to myself like, oh, you wild child, just things that I did. And thank God there was no social media, but I'm blown away that I
Right.
wrote these things in my journal. Like, oh, friends, please burn them upon my death. um, and throughout the trip, things got really sad and really dark. And I would write back to her. And on that 10th day, I sat in Santa Maria Novella, is a beautiful church that I visited almost daily when I lived there 20 years ago. And I would just sit there and cry. And I did the
Oh,
exact same thing. And I read that last entry, and as I was writing back, I realized it wasn't the 43-year-old version that was meant to go heal the 20, it was the opposite. Her words healed me. Her 20
Interesting.
year old naivety, um, sadness, hardship, depression, but with this sense of like, I know I'll make it, with this underlying like thread of hope.
Right.
That was what healed me. It was just, and it was wild. And yep, there was mom guilt. And yes, it was hard. And also, I want to acknowledge my advantage, my circumstances, the ability to be able to do this. Um, and it was one of the most beautiful experiences I've ever had.
Wow. So do you still feel like that is a sad place, or did the
Mm,
healing change
mm.
things for you?
No. Oh, that's such a great question. I can't wait to bring Aiden back. He's my
Mm.
oldest. He's my
Mm-hmm.
23-year-old who I'm visiting here in San
So
Diego right now.
so he
And
was the
I,
one that was there in
yes,
your belly. Yeah.
yes. Oh
Fun.
my God. I made a, oh my God, I bought a, what did I buy? A little magnet and it said made in Florence and I mailed it to
Oh,
him.
fun.
I was like, is
That's
this too
amazing.
much? So absolutely not. There's also it was a full healing immersion. I absolutely could go back there and bring my family and show them the joy. But then also show
Wonderful.
them, yeah, show them all sides.
Wonderful. Oh, there's so much to unpack there.
Yeah.
I feel like, well, I love that you had your journal from when you were a
Mm,
youth, in your 20s. I don't know how many of us keep those around or
yeah.
ever crack them open and look at them, but maybe that's an
Mhm.
encouragement for people
Mm,
to revisit
yeah.
their old selves, their old thoughts, and just see
Yeah.
how far they've come, or hear the
Yes.
hope in that voice. That was amazing. Um, because we get tired.
Oh,
We get so tired, and I think we
mm,
forget.
we do forget. We do
Yeah.
forget in it, and in this, instant gratification culture, I think
Hmm.
busy and
Hmm.
tired can often be worn as this badge of honor.
Yes.
And I would love all of us to just like trade that in for rest.
Yes.
Mm.
I think the badge of honor should be that you work less and rest more, or
Oh,
play
yes,
more. I mean, if you can
please.
work your life that way, then you're
Mm,
doing pretty awesome, I
yeah,
think.
absolutely. Yeah, that my kids are grown-ish. My youngest is 16, and these are the conversations we're having, like
Hmm.
I have team members and I tell my team like work is just work. We work to live. It's not the other way around. What I want
Right.
is you to be, create something here that helps you live and create your favorite life outside of work. And when I talk to
Yes.
the kids, it's, the world is your oyster. What could you do to make whatever money you want and work the least amount? Because life is meant to be lived.
Yes. Oh, we could end right here and we would have helped somebody. But
Oh,
I want to hear about the permission slip framework, because I know that kind of came out of your
mm,
trip, or
hmm hmm
okay,
hmm
tell me.
So what I like to talk about with my framework in coaching is really simple. It's just 3 Ds. It's define, design, and demand. And what I like to take clients through is each one of those steps. So define what you want, and I'm talking like granular. What do you
Mm-hmm.
want out of the areas of life that are important to you? I invite my clients to get selfish. I invite
Mm-hmm.
them to get vain, because these are the things that we are taught. Like I should want to be fit so that I can play with my grandkids. Like, okay, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely beautiful. And also, if you want to be fit so you look good, also beautiful, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So really get crystal clear on what you want in, each area that matters to you, and design a plan around it, and design a plan through experiments, because um, oftentimes we get so stuck in one way of doing things that we
Mm-hmm.
miss opportunities or we miss the off ramp. If we went at getting goals as experiments, then we are just a scientist with a hypothesis. And so it's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, if I right now I'm doing a reel a day for 30 days. It's like, okay, my hypothesis is I'm going to grow followers and engagement will go up. Okay, so if I do it after 30 days and I go down in followers and down in engagement, that doesn't mean anything about me or my
Right.
experiment. It's just data. And so that's the
Right.
design stage is like, we're going to take steps and action. We're not just sitting back. We're not just crossing our fingers. We're not waiting for anybody.
Right.
We're going to take steps to design that. And then we're going to demand it. So this is setting boundaries. This is saying no to the things that are distractions. Oh girl, I love a good distraction. So this one is where I like to hang out. Um, and so we're going to demand things of ourselves that we follow through and keep the promises that we made to ourselves. And then through that, the permission is there's going to be a permission slip that's needed. And the person who knows what permission slip that is you, is the
Mm-hmm.
client, is the listener. So
Mm-hmm.
is it permission to dream bigger in that first, defined stage? Is
Mm-hmm.
it permission to go all out? Or is it in the design stage, permission to take action? Is it
Mm-hmm.
permission to look silly? Or is it in the demand stage? Is it permission to say no? And there's a million different permission slips, and it is going to be completely based on what we need to grant ourselves
Mm-hmm.
in that moment at that time based on the circumstances. So it might be permission to take that nap, permission to rest,
Mm-hmm.
permission to run away over Thanksgiving, permission to get on a plane and go to San Diego in 3 hours. And it just is this fun, it's kind of a delightful way to look at granting ourselves what we want, what we need, and what we desire.
Right. I love that. I I tend to think of it as choices, and I think it's a
Mm,
different framework. But is it a part of self-responsibility, taking responsibility for your own life? Is that what you're
mm,
talking about
mm.
here?
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Because when
Mm-hmm.
we talk about that default mode or the
Mm-hmm.
checklist mode, and then finding ourselves in a place of tiredness or in a place of being unfulfilled, if we have constantly um, gotten permission from other people, I think it's very easy to slip into victim mentality
Mm-hmm.
uh, or like mommy martyrism, uh,
Mm-hmm.
versus yeah, these are the choices that I made. I'm the
Mm-hmm.
only one in charge of me.
Mm-hmm.
And absolutely, other folks, family and employees and people come into consideration. But living on purpose is taking responsibility for what we can in
Mm-hmm.
our life. Absolutely. Spot on.
Mm-hmm. So, Madi, let's go through those again. It was define, design, and demand.
Demand. Yeah.
Okay. Define, design, and demand.
And we're going to jump around, right? Like if you
Yeah.
go, you figure out exactly what you want, you define it, and then you're in that experimental design stage and things go sideways. My goal is to grow Instagram followers and the real experiment doesn't work, I'm not moving on to demand now. I'm going back to define, or I'm starting a new experiment in design. And so it's a real
Right.
flexible model where you're kind of moving in and out, realizing that all three pillars exist.
And I hear a touch of detachment from the outcome,
Mm,
right?
yes, yes. Oh gosh, that's so hard. Um, okay. So detachment from whether it dictates your worth, I would say would be a good thing. I
Sure.
do want people to be attached to their role in success building.
Mm-hmm.
So it's okay to take credit. It's okay to say, yeah, I did that. Yes, I built
Mm-hmm.
this life. Yes, and when an experiment doesn't work out, yes, we take ownership. Yes, okay, that was the experiment that I took action on, it didn't work out. We get to detach from that. From and instead of staying in the victim mentality, we take responsibility and go back to the drawing board.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's data, as you said earlier, it's data. It's not a reflection on you as a human being. It's not that it's not ever going to work. It's how do we tackle this differently? How do
Absolutely. And
we,
I think that's where a
yeah,
lot of us get stuck.
yeah. I love that. Um, oh gosh, so many different directions I want to go here, but I do want to talk, I don't want to let you go without you talking about the Crew Life Coaching Collective because
Mm.
I think that's so unique.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk about how you built that and what it
Mm-hmm.
is?
Yeah. So I about when I had my panic attack, this 15 years ago, I learned about personal growth and development. And I read my first personal development book about a morning practice, which I still do, highly recommend, and hired my first coach. And she uh, was my business coach and
Mhm,
helped me understand that I really needed to coach my team. I
mhm.
was, oh my gosh, I was the worst, Kimberly. I was a horrible boss. I wouldn't even
I
call
don't
myself a
believe it.
leader. No, I was
Yeah.
grind. I was, how many calls did you make? Get on
Mm,
the phone. What are you doing? You put your cell phones in the drawer in the kitchen. Like, oh my gosh, it's embarrassing to look back. And so my coach helped me realize I really needed to, instead of helicopter, let's coach your team. And so I started coaching them on business and learning how to sell insurance and having interactions with clients. And over a
mhm.
couple of years, I then learned how to be a leader, gained their trust, and they started asking me, "Hey, could you coach me on this conversation I need to have with my roommate? Or could we talk a little bit about this credit card? I can't seem to pay it off." Or just life coaching. So we
Right.
would continue to do the business life coaching, and then I started organically coaching my team outside of the business. And lo and behold, all business owners, they started bringing more productivity, more energy, more joy into the office because they were happier at home. Okay, that's brilliant right there.
Right.
Um, and so I used to post, this was way back when, but I'd post on social media, Monday is my favorite day. I get to coach my team. And organically, folks started reaching out to me asking if I would coach them. So my coaching practice started organically about 12 years ago.
Nice.
And and it is a beautiful industry. And
Mhm,
also there is a gatekeeping and a barrier to access when it comes to funds.
mhm.
Over the last 12 years, I've hired multiple coaches in all the different areas of my life because that's how the coaching system right now is built. It is built around you hire one coach for business, and then you hire a mindset coach, and then you hire a productivity coach. Oh, and then your marriage is falling apart. So go to marriage therapy. And then,
Right.
and pretty soon you're spending $20,000 and no joke, $20,000 a year on coaching.
Right.
And I was sick of this inaccessibility to this beautiful industry of life coaching. And I thought, what if I created a collective where I hired the best of the best, the coaches that I've hired, I vetted, I know their values, we align, and I pay them their executive wage,
Uh-huh.
bring them into a collective and ask them to coach inside the community. And what if I could charge a low entry point for the members so I could scale it in a way that it makes sense? So I charge $97 a month for the Crew Life Coaching Collective. There's six expert coaches. And when I say expert, it is top of the line expert coaches,
Mhm.
and you have access to everyone. It's over 20 hours of live coaching every single month. I do not recommend you taking all of those at once, but it's like a health club. You dip into the coach that you need in that time of your life, and we're just always there for you.
Nice. So 6 for 1, basically.
Mm,
A mind
oh
meld.
my gosh. Absolutely. I mean,
And,
I don't think you can get an executive coach for $97 an hour.
you
Yes.
you you cannot hire a single coach for $97 a month.
No.
That's going to get you where you need to go.
Yes.
So
Yes.
let's just say that.
Yes.
So, okay, cool. And so do people access that virtually or do you have
Oh
group
yeah.
meetings, single
Hmm.
meetings?
Yep. Great question. So it is all on our private app. It is online. So we have folks all over the world, and it is group coaching. And here's the beauty of group coaching. We all come with different challenges, but also different successes. And so when you
Mhm.
bring women together and someone has a question about a podcast or starting a podcast, there's going to be
Mhm.
a dozen other women in the community that can help. And so it is group coaching, and then there is Q&As for an hour with each coach every single month. So if you sign up for a Q&A, you could get 15, 20 minutes one-on-one with one of these coaches as well.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you for sharing that. I think that that holds a lot of value for folks, and it's
Mm.
so unique. And I'm interested to see if any of our folks try it and let
Yeah.
me know how you like.
Yeah. Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
please do. Please do. It is, I mean, lives are being changed. Businesses are being built. It is what, one of our members came to us a couple years ago, and her goal was to get out of bed and do the dishes. She was at a very low point,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and a beautiful goal,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely stunning goal. Get out of bed and do her dishes.
Yep.
That was a couple years ago, and she just launched her first business and bought another business. She is thriving. It is a miracle and so beautiful, and just a
Mm-hmm.
testament to the power of women supporting women.
That's amazing. And that is more common than we would like to think.
Yes.
That level
It,
of
if that
just
is you,
needing.
yes, you are not alone.
Yeah.
There's no shame, there's no
Yep.
judgment. You are just fine, one step at a time.
Yep. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So, Maudie, you've got
Yeah.
multiple businesses. You've
Mm-hmm.
got your corporate pilot husband and your three grown kids, but I know for a fact that the grown kids are sometimes take as much of your attention
Oh,
as the younger
don't get
ones.
me started. Don't.
So, right? We could have a whole
Yes.
nother episode on that
Um,
conversation, but our
yes,
kids
ma'am.
probably wouldn't appreciate
Yeah, right,
it.
exactly.
How do you have fun? How do you protect
Mm,
your
yeah.
calendar or your life or your
Hmm.
choices so that you are feeding you as well?
Yeah. I love this question so much because I also have a podcast
Mm-hmm.
and a busy travel schedule, and we date night all the time. And folks say, how do you do it all? And I have to give credit to the productivity coach inside the crew.
Oh.
Without Elise Enriquez and her productivity system, there is
Mm-hmm.
no way I would have remembered to send you my bio, right? Or
Right.
this is going to go live. I'm going to promote this on my socials and my channels. That is all in my system, so I don't have to remember. I don't have to remember anything. Everything is out of my head, and so I give 100% credit to Elise Enriquez, productivity coach, who you can get inside the crew. It is
Nice.
it, and also these are the things that we aren't taught. We're told to do it all and be really good at it, but we're not
Yeah.
taught how to streamline it, how to make things simpler, some what's working, what's not working, some hacks, and that's what we do inside the crew. It's like let's go get our goals and also love our life at the same time.
Yes. I love that. A group of people who are committed to building work around life. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Well, if there is somebody listening who just feels stuck and they want to make a first simple step, what would you have them do?
Oh my gosh, message me on Instagram. Let's have a little conversation. I'd love to grant you a permission slip, and we'll see if the crew is for you. Otherwise, let's just hang out on Instagram. I post a lot of things that are permission slip driven, um, and I do live a pretty unapologetic life over there. I show my failures. I show the good, bad, and the messy middle. So that's what I would say.
Excellent. We will put that information, we'll put your Instagram link in the show notes
Wonderful.
and website as well. Anything else that you'd like to share before we close out?
I think what's been on my heart lately is reminding women, reminding anyone listening really, is that you have what it takes right now. You don't need anything else. You don't need another course. You don't need another
Mm,
certificate. You don't need another free masterclass. Get a
right.
journal, get a pen, take
Yes.
yourself on a take yourself on a walk. You have all the wisdom you need. That's what's been on my heart lately.
Yes. Oh, I'm grateful that you shared that. We've all, I think,
Mm.
been down that path a time or two too, where there's so many
Yep.
productivity tools or
Yes.
mindfulness tools or, oh, so many tools. AI tools.
Oh,
Give me your
absolutely.
$29 and I'll tell you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
think you hit the nail right on the head. That is,
Mm-hmm.
um, stop. I mean, there's some valid things out there, and I don't want to discount
Yeah,
anybody
yeah,
who's
yeah.
trying to make it
Absolutely.
work. There are some definitely valid things out
Mm.
there. But if you feel like you've just thrown more money at the problem and you're not getting where you want to go, take Maudie's
Yeah.
advice. You are
Mm.
enough. You don't have to get somebody else to tell you what to do.
Yep.
You can figure this out. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much for spending time with
Thank
us
you. This
today.
was so fun.
Yeah, and I hope to see you again soon. And everybody reach out to Maudie and get to know a little bit more about her and what she's got going on Instagram.
Awesome. Thanks, Kimberly.
Be sure to check the show notes for links mentioned in this episode and join us in the Living the Good Life Facebook community for previews of each episode, the opportunity to pose questions directly to our guests, bonus content, and a community of people committed to living their best life and sharing the journey. Thanks for listening. Let us know what value you received from this episode and what you'd like us to explore in the future in the comments. And please take a moment to drop us a like or some stars. I'm Kimberly Henry. Let's get out there and live the good life.